Adam Silver has found himself in some serious hot water over the management of the WNBA. And is they faking ratings? I don't know, but we finna talk.
Okay, this is wild, because Adam Silver really thought he was doing the safe thing here. The commissioner executive was just trying to clear up a few questions about the WNBA's direction, but instead, he basically confirmed what everyone's been whispering about all season, that the league's a mess behind the scenes, and the people running it have no idea how to handle the tension boiling over between players, leadership, and fans. The NBA commissioner's recent comments about Caitlin Clark in the WNBA didn't just spark debate. They ignited a full-blown firestorm that is players side-eyeing their own league office and fans questioning whether anyone in charge actually understands what's happening. And judging by how fast that backlash spread across social media, it's pretty clear Adam Silver's already kicking himself for saying anything at all. Because here's the thing, every time you think this WNBA drama is finally cooling down, someone in a suit walks up and throws gasoline straight onto the fire. This time, it wasn't Cathy Engelbert catching all the smoke. It was her boss, the guy who's supposed to be above all this chaos. And man, did he step right into it.
Adam Silver himself has chimed in and addressed the situation directly, saying Cathy Engelbert has presided over historic growth in the league, but there's no question that there's issues that we need to address with our players, not just economic. There's relationship issues as well. I'm confident we can fix those over time, and this league can continue to be on the rocket trajectory that it's on.
Now, before we jump in, let me be clear. Adam Silver didn't walk into that NBC interview trying to start a war. He probably thought he was giving a diplomatic, measured response that would calm things down and show everyone that leadership's got everything under control. But what he actually said? Yeah, that clip spread faster than Aya Wilson sprinting to the free throw line, and the internet did not hold back. Let's rewind for a second so you understand exactly what went down. Silver sat down for what was supposed to be one of those boring, PR-safe corporate talks, the kind where they throw around buzzwords like growth, trajectory, leadership, and synergy. All that junk that sounds good but means nothing. But the moment he started talking about Caitlin Clark and the current state of the WNBA, things went south faster than anyone expected. He basically said the league's issues aren't just about money or economics, they're relationship issues. And at first, that might sound harmless, like, oh, he's just saying people need to communicate better. But once you actually think about what that means, you realize he just told the entire world that the WNBA is broken from the inside. Translation: the people running the league and the people playing in it can't stand each other. And now everyone knows it because the NBA commissioner just said it out loud on national television.
I would love for Adam, since we're a brother-sister league, to go to some of the CBA negotiations, sit in the room, hear what the women have to say, hear some of their concerns, and let's go from there. Let's build something.
I'm here to tell you that NBA leadership is very much abreast on what's happening in these CBA negotiations. She's not the only decision maker who is denying some.
And the timing couldn't be worse.
Here's where it gets even crazier, because this interview didn't happen in a vacuum. You've got the finals going on right now, with Nafisa Collier absolutely torching Cathy Engelbert on live TV for her tone-deaf comments about Caitlin Clark needing to be grateful for off-court money. You've got players openly talking about lockouts and threatening not to show up next season if things don't change. You've got Caitlin Clark's name getting dragged into every single debate, even when she's not playing, and now Adam Silver steps in, sounding like a confused parent trying to fix a fight between kids he doesn't even know. He probably genuinely thought he was helping, that by acknowledging the tension, he'd show everyone that leadership cares and is working on solutions. Instead, he ended up proving every single player's point, that the NBA treats the women's game like a side project they don't fully understand or respect. But let's actually break down what he said, because it gets worse the more you analyze it. Silver tried to compliment Cathy Engelbert by saying she's presided over historic growth, which sounds great on paper, sure. But then, in the very next breath, he admitted there's a major disconnect between leadership and the players to SO, which is it, Adam? Is it historic growth or historic chaos? Because from what we've all witnessed this year, the WNBA isn't growing in a healthy, sustainable way. It's exploding. And not in the good way. More like a pressure cooker that's been ignored for too long and is now about to blow. Between Nafisa Collier publicly calling out the commissioner for disrespecting Caitlin, players openly threatening a lockout over contract negotiations, and fans absolutely screaming about biased officiating and league favoritism. This isn't growth. This is a full-blown crisis, and the absolute worst part of Silver's comments? He made it sound like he doesn't even trust Cathy Engelbert anymore.
What's interesting was the amount of players that came to the defense of Fee and the crickets that came to the defense of Cathy for me.
I mean, this is an important part. Like, this is an important time with the CBA negotiations. Like, the players, when you look at leagues around the world, like, it is about caring for your athletes, caring for the players. And that's just not the feelings right now. And I think everyone is kind of just, they rallied around Fee because, one, that was a powerful statement to make. And obviously it puts pressure on Cathy and put pressure on the leadership. But I mean, it was a lot. It was a heavy hitter, right, Oz?
But the real kicker, the part that really set the internet on fire, came when Adam Silver started talking about ratings and viewership numbers. He claimed the WNBA is in this rocket trajectory moment, like everything's perfect, the league's never been more popular, and everyone should be celebrating. Yet that same exact week, reports started coming out that the finals' viewership numbers looked, let's just say, creative at best and completely manipulated at worst. People with actual media literacy started noticing how Nielsen, the company that tracks TV ratings, suddenly and conveniently changed how they count out-of-home viewing. That means they started including bar TVs, hotel lobbies, airport screens, basically any random screen that happened to have the game on. And all of that magically got added into the 2025 ratings for the very first time in WNBA history. So yeah, technically the numbers look way higher than previous years. But is the league actually more popular with real fans who are intentionally tuning in? Or did someone in the league office just decide to move the goalposts and change the measurement system to make everything look better than it actually is? Because that's exactly what it looks like to everyone paying attention. Fans online absolutely weren't buying it. Not for a second. One viral comment said, "These ratings look faker than the Aces foul calls," which, honestly, is savage, but also kind of accurate. Another one said, "They're cooking the stats to bury Caitlyn's impact and pretend the league doesn't need her." And honestly, that might be the real reason Adam Silver's comments backfired so spectacularly. Because, let's be brutally real here for a second, without Caitlyn Clark, none of these so-called historic ratings ever happened. Period. End of story. She carried this entire league on her back from the very first game of the season, sold out arenas everywhere she went, dominated ESPN headlines for months, brought in millions of new fans who had never watched women's basketball before. She's the only reason casual sports viewers even know who Cathy Engelbert is in the first place, and now that Caitlyn's injured and sitting on the sidelines, the league's already acting like they don't need her anymore, like her impact was overblown and they can somehow sustain this momentum without her. That right there is what set everyone off, because it feels like disrespect and denial at the same time. Silver tried to sound diplomatic and balanced, like a calm mediator just acknowledging both sides, but the more he talked about collective bargaining agreements, relationship growth, and all that corporate jargon, the more it sounded like he was covering for Cathy Engelbert's failures while pretending Caitlyn Clark's fame and star power don't actually matter to the league's success. And you know exactly how the internet works. Within hours, #AdamSilverRegret was trending on Twitter. People were dragging him for treating the WNBA like a side project he only pays attention to when there's a PR crisis. Others flat out said he was trying to protect Cathy's job, because if she goes down in flames, it makes him look bad, too. Remember, Cathy Engelbert works directly under Adam Silver. He's technically her boss. And when your boss has to go on national television to publicly defend you in interviews, that's never a good sign. That means things are way worse than they're letting on.
Very personal, because the WNBA wants to forbid us to make a lot of more money than we're ever going to make here, what it seems like in other leagues. So it's very personal. People have families. This is our job. We make more money in China, Russia, Turkey than here. So it is very personal, and I don't think why it shouldn't become personal.
Meanwhile, the players themselves are completely losing patience with all of this. Sophie Cunningham already hinted at a potential lockout, saying flat out that players aren't showing up next season until they get what they actually deserve in terms of pay, respect, and working conditions. And you know what that means, right? If these CBA negotiations don't go smoothly, if the league office keeps playing games and dismissing players' concerns, we might not even have a 2026 WNBA season at all, and it all loops right back to leadership, or, more accurately, the complete lack of real leadership at the top. Cathy Engelbert is practically invisible, only showing up to make tone-deaf comments that somehow make everything worse. Adam Silver's out here giving confusing, contradictory interviews that expose more problems than they solve. And the players? They're literally using Instagram stories and podcast appearances to communicate with each other and with fans, like it's a high school group chat instead of a professional sports league. This isn't leadership. This is pure chaos with corporate logos slapped on top of it.
What was interesting was the amount of players that came to the defense of Fee and the crickets that came to the defense of Cathy for me. Adam Silver is Cathy's boss, and he is the commissioner of the NBA. I signed a deal with Amazon to broadcast for Amazon. I got a text from Adam Silver saying congratulations. I had my third child. I got a text from Adam Silver about my third child. Now, whether this is Adam or his assistant, somebody from the league office is reaching out to me. I got a baby gift for my third child. I get a Christmas gift from Adam Silver every year. I retired. Adam Silver sent me a text message that basically congratulated me on my career and how much I've done for the women's game, and he looked forward to how much I'm gonna do from the sideline. I have not heard from Cathy. I saw Cathy in Phoenix after I had been retired for 4 months at Phoenix All-Star Game, and she said congratulations in person. And that was the only time. And so you've heard other players, Sabrina Ionescu alluded to this, I have a better relationship with Adam Silver than I do Cathy. My 2 jersey retirements, there was no Cathy.
Yeah.
So I think that Adam Silver understands the process. I don't know if he understood that Cathy was not doing that either.
And to make things even worse, fans and media members started directly comparing how Adam Silver treats NBA players versus how he treats WNBA players. And the difference is stark and, honestly, kind of heartbreaking. Candace Parker basically confirmed this on her podcast when she revealed that Adam personally texted her when she retired, when she signed her big broadcast deal with TNT, and even when she had her baby. He sent her congratulations and Christmas gifts. You know who didn't reach out during any of those major life moments? Cathy Engelbert, the actual WNBA commissioner. Candace said it straight up, no sugarcoating. I get more love and personal attention from Adam Silver than I do from my own commissioner. That one line absolutely broke WNBA Twitter because it perfectly illustrated the core problem. This isn't just about money, TV deals, or collective bargaining. It's about basic human connection and respect. The players don't feel valued. They don't feel heard. And they definitely don't feel like their own league leadership actually cares about them as people. Now, Adam Silver's comments, which were supposed to smooth things over, accidentally highlighted that disconnect even more. He meant to calm everyone down and show that progress is being made, but by admitting out loud that there are serious relationship issues, he basically said the quiet part out loud on national television, that the players don't trust the league office, and the league office doesn't know how to connect with the players. You cannot PR spin that into a positive headline. Especially not when the biggest star in the entire sport, Caitlin Clark, is the one stuck in the middle of all this absolute nonsense. Now, here's the cherry on top of this disaster sundae. People are seriously starting to question whether the WNBA's growth numbers are being deliberately inflated to cover up bad management and keep investors happy. Like, we're talking about the same league that refuses to mic up players during games for better content, claims they can't afford better referees, but somehow pulls record-breaking ratings out of thin air the moment they change how those ratings are measured. Yeah, sure. Totally believable. One sports media analyst even said, the WNBA's problem isn't popularity, it's leadership pretending that popularity solves everything. And that right there is straight fact. Because numbers on a spreadsheet don't fix locker room tension, they don't fix incompetent officiating, and they definitely don't fix tone-deaf executives who have no idea how to manage the talent they've been given. Caitlin Clark didn't ask for any of this drama. She didn't ask to be the face of a civil war inside the league. She just wanted to play basketball at the highest level and compete for championships. But now she's stuck right in the middle of the biggest internal mess the WNBA has ever had, and Adam Silver just made it 10 times worse by talking about it publicly and confirming everyone's worst suspicions. Now, let's be honest for a second. Adam Silver is not a villain. He's not some evil corporate overlord trying to destroy women's basketball. He's actually one of the most respected commissioners in all of professional sports. But even the best intentions can blow up in your face when you're dealing with a situation this volatile. And this time, it absolutely did blow up. Because now, fans are saying if the NBA really runs the WNBA and controls the purse strings, then it's time for Adam Silver to actually step in and fix this mess, not just talk about it in interviews and hope it goes away. You can't claim historic growth and rocket trajectory while your players are openly calling your commissioner a ghost who doesn't care about them. Even Candace Parker, one of the most respected and diplomatic figures in all of basketball, said flat out, "I had to hear more from Adam Silver about my." That's genuinely embarrassing for the league. It's gotten so bad that rumors are already flying around that Cathy Engelbert's job might legitimately be on the line. And honestly, if Adam Silver really wants to save face and protect the league's reputation, he might have to replace her before the next season starts, because the fans are done making excuses. The players are angrier than they've ever been. And every single time someone from the league office opens their mouth to address the situation, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Adam Silver probably walked into that interview thinking he was giving a calm, balanced, perfectly reasonable answer about workplace relationships and the importance of communication. Instead, he walked straight into a PR nightmare that's going to follow him for months. And that's what happens when you underestimate how loud, how passionate, and how protective Caitlin Clark's fan base really is. Because they see through the corporate speak, and they're not letting anyone disrespect her or dismiss her impact. You don't say something even slightly dismissive or diminishing about Caitlin Clark without the entire internet catching fire within minutes. And right now, Adam Silver is absolutely feeling that.